Hey everybody! So we have arrived at the last tutorial in this series where basically we start out building a very small level, we added sound to that level in the 3D space of the world, and now we're just going to make an application or create an executable file of the game so that we're able to give that to someone for them to play. Now, I'm going to open up my project again. I have it already open in Unity. In fact, again, just to go over the objects, we created a plane. We then put in our first-person controller. We then added a cube at one end and a sphere at the other. And all I'm doing is double-clicking to get to each one of these. One of the things I didn't talk about much that I should review a little bit. See how there's a little speaker icon now on this sphere? That means that the sphere itself has an audio source attached to it. And that's why, so when you're looking at a Unity level, sometimes it's easy for you to kind of search around the level and find those little speaker icons so that you know where sound is coming from. We attached music to each one of those spheres, or to the sphere and the cube, two separate pieces of music. We adjusted the maximum distance so that the fallout distance was fairly fast. So you have to get close to the object before you're going to hear it. And now we're up to the last part, which is let's actually make a build of the game. So we'll save our scene here and go up to the build settings. In build settings, you select what you want to build. And right now, I can set the target platform. I'm working on a Mac right now, but you could work on a PC if you want to. You can either make an OS X build or Windows build. I'm going to make an OS X build and make the build. Now, it asks me where should I save this new application that I'm building. Now, what I like to do is actually create a folder called builds inside of my Unity folder. So I'll create a builds folder. So again, going back up here, you see it's outside of the assets folder, but it's still in my overall Unity project folder. So I'll go into my builds folder, and then I'll call it whatever I want the application to be named as. Now, for this assignment, it's likely that you'll have to name it with your first and last name. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to name it Michael Sweet Application 01. And I'm going to save it like that. It's going to compile everything together into a single application that I can launch and run. And I also can zip up that application and give to someone, a friend of yours that could actually want to play this game. Now, it's not very exciting yet, and this class is not meant to teach you how to be a game developer or game designer, but it's useful to know how to do these things so that you're able to add sounds into someone else's project when you work with a game development team. It's a really super helpful, useful skill to have. So I'm going to at the end of that, it created that builds folder. It created the build, the application itself. And you can see it has a little icon that looks like an application. I'm going to quit out of Unity because I'm all done with that now. If I had anything to save, I would save it there. It'd just be the scene. And so now in my builds folder, I have Michael Sweet's application. And when I launch it, it's going to give me a new Unity project configuration, what I want it to, like if I want it to look really good. This game that we made has such simple assets, you can leave it on fantastic. But some games, depending on the speed of your computer and your graphics card and all that, you may want to run it smaller. I'm just going to use the default settings and hit play, and that will basically zoom out to full screen, put a logo in front saying I made this with Unity, and I can start walking down to this cube. And if I've done everything correctly, when I get within 5 meters of the cube, then it should play my sound. And it did. And I can hear it spatialized in the world, which is cool. And then I'll go to my other one on the other side. So it faded out based on the fallout time that I chose, sort of the distance over time. how it's going to fade out. And then when I get to this other one, it will fade up my other piece of music. And I'm going to jump off the edge. And that's the end of my game. And to quit, you have to hit Command Q on a Mac and Control Q on a PC. And that's it. So you made a simple game, you put your own music into it, and you create an application, which is all pretty awesome. All right, talk to you on the other side.